Jeez. Sorry. Hey, boys, I think we're live, man. Sorry, I think we're live, man. Yeah, sorry. I fell asleep in the game, man. I don't even know what happened, man. I think.
Mad.
I fell asleep, man. Boys, you good? You good?
Bruno top corner. Just seeing. Dreaming.
I had a dream that we just had a 0-0 draw and I fell asleep. I don't know. Is that you?
Nah,
or
that
me?
was
mad.
That was
crazy,
real, bro.
That was so dead. Guys, welcome to United Sauce and Wingers. I'm Dominic. You got Nadie in the middle, and you got Sean. What's going on, my brothers?
I'm good, man.
Yeah.
How you getting on?
Yes.
What's going on?
We're going to try and make this boring draw somewhat exciting and have a laugh about it, because if we don't have a laugh about it, what is the point? We drew a City 0-0. Both managers played for that draw. They wanted the point. They were both scared to lose, but we're going to dissect it a little bit and figure out, okay, was this a good point? Was it a good point? Was it a tactical masterclass by Ollie? Or did we have the right to fall asleep and, get some more milk and go to bed? Because there was some times in that whole point when I was thinking, what is happening with this game? It was there for taking. But look, at the same time, the title of the show is Negative Ollie. That's what we're going to discuss. Was it negative or was it tactical masterclass? So let's just get straight into it. Before we carry on, please don't forget to like the video. Whoever's in there, please like the video. Make some
subscribe, share,
and subscribe and
United
share.
Sauce and Wingers right now on YouTube. Go and check it.
That's it. Paulie straight in. What's going on, Paulie, man? Thank you so much for
what's up, my man, Paulie.
Paulie.
So guys, look.
Paulie's at the wheel.
Paulie. Let's just get straight into it, guys. Look, I was having some food, and I was thinking to myself, let me have some food and just chill out, watch the game. I don't know what to expect. My expectations are on the floor anyway because of how we play so inconsistently. And then I started to see that Man City was there for taking. I started to think, okay, is this the Pep we know with the tick-a-tacker? Nope. Is this the people that literally put you on the back foot all game? Nope. I was thinking,
Definitely not.
This is interesting. And what are we going to do about it? 90 minutes later, we're talking about a 0-0 draw. I'm somewhat lethargic. I'm somewhat let down. But I'm going to be real. It's a point, okay? None of us thought we would be in a situation where, Man City are playing rubbish. I nearly fell asleep. And I feel like 90% of Man United fans also fell asleep. But look, tell me, is this a good point? Is this a tactical masterclass by Ollie? Or are we in a situation where that was negative? We didn't see Van der Beek at all. We did not see Van der Beek. And I keep saying his name wrong. Van der Beek, whatever.
Van der Beek, man.
We didn't see that guy.
You know what, Dom?
Go on, talk to me.
Yeah, bro. I think before we started the game, 100% we would have taken a point. Because we were expecting City. Sorry.
Yeah, go on. I'll just give you this comment because that's to cheer me up a little bit. Not that I want Ollie to go or anything, but the only way you're going to make that game exciting is telling me that Ollie's been sacked.
Mad.
That's so deep. Carry on.
That's how poor it was, bro. That's how boring it was. But I think before the start of the game, we would have taken a point. I know I would have, because I was thinking City going to turn up blasters. It's going to be one of them, and I'd just be like, you know what? I can't even do this, bro. I'll be honest. However, during the game, you start thinking, well, it wasn't a slapping. You've actually, during the game, the reality was we're actually in this game. We could do bits, and for a stage where City were looking even worse, and we were looking like we could go and get it. This is where Ollie got it wrong again. He's not got he hasn't got the credentials or the experience to know how to win games. That's the difference. He can defend and he can be shaky, but I'm guaranteeing you a Fergie, potentially a Pep is going, right, okay, we're on top now. It's a bit like you arm wrestle someone, you can feel the other person going.
Yeah.
And then you start putting that slow pressure. You don't put it all in, you put slow pressure in. That's where you take McSauce off, put Van der Beek on. Because I was thinking, if we can control that midfield even more, and then break forward, because McTominay is making so many side passes as normal, going backwards. If you bring Van der Beek on there, you're thinking, right, we're probably going to get the next goal, because it's pressure after pressure after pressure. They couldn't handle it. And then when we lost all the energy and we're getting tired, you're thinking, do it now then at least. And I'm thinking, I'm not a manager, I'm not licensed to do it, but any fan can see out there that when the game's there for the taking, you go for it. And I think just at the moment, he's being too coward. And I used to have a lot of sympathy for him, but when he makes decisions like this, I won't back it and I won't support it because I'm not
And
a
this
fickle
is
fan.
and this is and this is what Scott Arthur's saying. Scott, thank you for joining us, man. I really appreciate it. Scott saying Solskjaer is well out of his depth. Every man could see that change needs to be made at 60 minutes. And this is what your point comes to, Neji. It's one of those things where you're saying when you're doing an arm wrestle and you feel like the other person it's there for the taking. You know, when it's there, you can just feel that the tides are turning, capitalize. That's what we didn't do, Sean, did we? We didn't capitalize on that sort of tide where Man City were making so many loose passes. It was so like them.
Nah, man. I feel like, you know what? It was a dead game. It was a boring game. We all fell asleep in the game, but I've got to take some positives out of this game. And at the start, we all did our predictions on Friday, and none of us predicted us to get a draw. So we can't come here.
You're right.
We can't come here and be negative and go in on Ollie, because at the end of the day, he's got a point from the game. And for me, this is exactly what I wanted to see from Ollie. I wanted to see him set up a team to go and get a result, because we always talk about Ollie as a quick learner. And for me, I feel he showed that he takes on information super, super fast after the 2 games against PSG and Leipzig, where all we needed was a point and we would have been through. Ollie set up attack at home against PSG. We went toe to toe. We got murked. Against Leipzig, we came out slow. We got murked. So for me, I look at this as progress. I looked at this as Ollie setting up a team, Jose Mourinho style, which is exactly what I said after the last game. I want to see him set up a team to get a result and make us tight at the back, Dom. You were saying it. You never seen us defending as a team, as a unit, and shutting out a team. So for me, I'm looking at this, I'm saying Ollie's learned from his mistakes last week, and he's implemented that to stabilize the ship. We couldn't afford another defeat off the back of those results, because like we said, it was going to get real nasty for Ollie. So for me, it was a case of both managers came out to get a point, and that was the result of what we saw. From City's perspective, I think it's a disgrace what they did, but we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about Ollie and Man United. From our perspective, none of us predicted a point, and I feel like the team showed something I haven't seen them do. I can't remember the last time we came out and set up in that way and actually got a result. So for me, I'm calling that a tactical masterclass from Ollie. It's not pretty to watch, but at the end of the day, we got the point that we needed, and we're still above City, and we can move on to the next game in a good shape, rather than you could roll the dice and you could risk losing it, because City were always dangerous in that game.
You know what, Sean? You know what? I actually respect you for everything you just said there, brother. Like, honestly, sometimes you say some stuff, and that's why people call you Ty from Arsenal. But today, that was quite a measured response, Sean. And I guess it makes me feel maybe we did do the right thing. I came here thinking to myself, look, they were there for the taking. But how do we know that if we went out full attack, they wouldn't have just counterattacked us and punched us to death?
I rate what Sean said, and a part of me, well, no, not a part, a lot of me agrees with you. The other half of me disagrees for the simple fact of the manner of the game. I feel like if that was Leipzig and PSG, that's what he should have done, and I agree that was perfect, because we would have been Champions League, would have made that little step up, and everything would have been blessed. But I think against this team, I think when it comes to, like, how can you put it? When it comes to pivotal moments in a game, when you can see the tide switching, most managers, especially at Manchester United, it is only good enough to go for the win when it's there. And I don't think any fan out there who let's say Ollie actually did go for it when he should have. I don't think any fan out there would have got on Ollie's back, unless you're Ollie Alters, of course. I don't think any real fan out there would have got off on Ollie's back if he went and got that win, because it was there to see. Everyone could see it, and I think he's. And I think that's the difference between having a manager who knows how to win. Because if that was Fergie, he's going for the win. There's no
this is a point here, right? So, Alcinda, nice to have you guys here, and girls, if you're here as well. I'd rather have a fight with intent to win, but lose than be a coward. And you know what? I hear that, man.
And that is United's DNA, bro. And this is why Ollie got it. This, in my opinion, Ollie got it wrong. If it was Leipzig, if it was PSG, you do that. You reserve the energy of your big players. You don't even need Bruno on that pitch. Let's be honest, unless you're going for a goal. If you're going for a point from the off, fair play. But in this game, in the league, you're in Europa League now. So in the Premier League, you need those 3 points. A draw would have been fine at the start of the game. So I'm not saying I'm asking for too much. However, come midway through that game, when you know the game's there to be taken, an experienced manager who knows how to win and go for the win will grab that win. Jose Mourinho would be banking on them making a mistake. That's what Ollie did tonight, and that's partly why Jose got sacked. So I'm not going to have no double standards over Jose and Ollie.
You're basically trying to say, look, if you got someone and you got an opportunity, you got to grab him by the throat and flick and do it. Look, let me read some of these comments, all right? We've got Carl. Nice to have you here, Carl. Last season, we got 9 points from Spurs, Chelsea, City, and Arsenal home games. This season, we have no open play goals from those games. Jesus. And 2 points. Where are we getting the extra 7 from? Worried. And look, that's a fair point, Carl. Sufan, nice to have you back. For me, this performance is what we need on Tuesday. This is the game we need to set up and more attacking towards the end. Look, that's a fair point. That's a very fair point. Ankit saying Ollie is scared to change anything which works for him. He felt a point against City would be good enough, so I didn't go for it. I completely agree with that. I think he definitely thought the fact that he didn't, we're going to talk about Van der Beek, but the fact that he didn't even bring the brother on just to get his boots a bit wet. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, this guy real. Alcinda, I'd rather have a fight with intent yet. And when he sees a point we set up like this, the draw is an L for me. Can't accept a point. You know what? You're in your right to believe that and think that. You have your right to do that. A couple more points here. Paulie, if we played the same system we played when we won against West Ham, Southampton, Leipzig, and PSG, we wouldn't have got destroyed today. I guess it's a derby thing, but you would have taken a battering. Yeah, you know what? That's a good point. We can talk about this because, boys, I think sometimes we have to come out of this and realize this was a derby. This was a derby. It did not feel like a derby. It felt like we're in Australia or America or somewhere in Asia doing a pre-season friendly. No one was up for it. I don't know if it was a Champions League hangover. I don't know if Pep just didn't want to lose another league game, but it felt.
Do you not just think that there was so much water under both teams' bridges that we couldn't even get involved in the way we get involved in derbies because no team is on form, and it's not to say oh you have to be on form to be in form to the derby. That's not why I've been brought up, and I'll be honest. But when you look at the reality of what's going on in this season, there's a lot of water under the bridge where you're thinking, I can't even fathom getting into derby mode. I just want to look at it as a result in a game. And unfortunately, that's the way it looked and seemed. Yeah. No player looked like they were putting in big challenges for that. Sorry, Sean, go on.
Yeah, I think there's definitely an element of that. I think I do feel like the game was a weird vibe in that whole game. I think the fans played a part. I've never seen a derby game so flat. But I think from the moment I saw the team sheets, I had a feeling it was going to be a bit of a stalemate because when do you ever see Pep playing 2 defensive mids? I've never seen him setting up like that. So from then I said, this guy's coming into game. He shook because don't forget we beat them 3 times out of 4 last season, if I'm right.
And Sterling's never scored against us.
Sterling's never scored against us. We hit them on the break, and I feel like Pep was absolutely coming to this game scared of our counter-attack, scared of our pace, scared of Rashford, scared of Greenwood up there. And he set up with Rodri and Fernandinho protecting his back line, which I could never fathom Pep Guardiola going anywhere doing that. They said it on the commentary. So again, I feel that's kudos has got to go to Ollie. I feel like that's a mark of respect that Pep is showing to us and to how dangerous we are and to what we did to them last season.
You know what, right? I'm going to go to this, right? Because I need to look at both sides, Sean. There's going to be a lot of the fan base that are saying that is negative, negative, negative. Why did you not bring on Van der Beek? Why did you not? Like, obviously, Shaw looked a bit injured, still kept him on. He's playing a lot of games after the injury. Why did you not take off Shaw, maybe bring on Telles to whip more balls in? No, Shaw, I think he had an amazing game.
Quality game.
Ridiculous. I'm sorry. I've never thought about getting a Shaw t-shirt. I probably still won't. But if I ever did in the future, I might consider Shaw because that guy defended so good.
Now you see why I wanted him in the team instead of Telles. Yes.
Here we go.
I'm just saying.
No, let's not do no just sayings because we're gonna get the boy Sterling soon.
yeah, we're gonna get Sterling soon, mate. Just
Sterling who?
But yeah, carry on, sorry.
For me, I want to look at both sides, right? I think for me, negative. Some people will think that and they'll think Ollie's out of his depth. He's got no ideas. He wants to keep his job. What do you say to those people, Sean, first? Because I know you're avid Ollie in, and then come 2 days ago.
Yeah, so I would say he does want to keep his job. You're absolutely right. They're absolutely right. I feel like there was an element of that because, as I said, if we lost that game today off the back of the results and going out of the Champions League, they'd be calling for his head. The Grim Reaper would be coming for Ollie.
Yeah.
So he couldn't afford to lose that game. He played for the result. And I feel as though Luke Shaw did fantastic. I wanted him in the team. I think he showed, again, Tellez defensively, he's a bit suspect. I feel like it would have been too much of a risk and it wasn't worth, in the context of the total season. I get it's a derby. I get City were not on their game. And we could say, you know, if we went for them a little bit, there's a chance we could win the match, but there's also a chance we could lose it. And I feel on the balance of probabilities in the context of the wider season and stabilizing us after that defeat in midweek, I feel like it's a good point given where we were and the place that we were coming into the game. Forget what happened in the game. I get it. There was a chance for us to win it. But coming into the game and where we were and the place that we were in and where we would be had we lost it, I feel like Ollie took the right decisions not to risk bringing on Van der Beek to open up the game. And I think bringing Martial on, he did try and go for it, but he didn't go 100%. He went like, it was a half-hearted attempt. Something happens, okay, but if not, I'll take the point.
You know what, right? I think if there was a group of 10 Ollie outers and I said to convince them, I think you might have converted one. But I appreciate you still putting your thoughts forward. Neji, I'm going to come to you. I'm going to come to you, Neji, right? Sean's put his 2 cents forward. I still think there'll be loads more. If you're Ollie outers, you're not going to change, of course, what you heard from Sean, because I know what you're saying, Sean, but people are going to think, no, long term, they're going to think about what's happened over the last 2 years. Where's the progress? Neji, how are you feeling? Do you feel like this is a situation where we need to just put this game behind us, take the point and move on? Or is there something bigger going on?
Van der Beek should be playing on that game. There's no way him bringing on Van der Beek opens up that game. What happens is Van der Beek plays in that hole incredibly well. He'll make the right first-time touches and passes and find the space to then at least open us up to have a little bit more on the counter, meaning City end up drawing further back, giving us the opportunity to go and win that game. This City
you say that, Neji.
Sorry.
Yeah, you say that, but Van der Beek started last week and he got hauled off.
Yeah, but we know why. That's still got nothing to do with his performance. So this is my point. And you know, you say you're a big fan of Van der Beek, or you like him.
I like him. Yeah.
But ultimately, when you come into give reasons as to why he's not coming on, you don't really support him. You just support Ollie's decision to not use him, which I don't really appreciate or respect.
I can't support him. I can't support him.
But why? Because he's not done nothing wrong.
Because we've got McTominay doing a great job in the midfield, and we've got Fred doing a fantastic job in the midfield.
Stop it.
Fred came back into that team.
I'll let you talk about your thingy. So I'll be honest. I don't mind you cutting in, but when you're saying about McTominay playing good, I may as well just carry on my point, bro. I'm sorry. So let me get to it. So Van der Beek,
McTominay haters, man.
So
go on.
So Van der Beek and that, and if you watch when he comes on, he's looking to move the ball forward and get it forward. There was only one time I saw link-up play, which was very lucky, let's be honest, between Bruno, McTominay and Bissaka. Bissaka does not link-up play. So occasionally you're going to see it. That is a rarity to see. I don't know if you remember it. It was in the first half, right-hand side, made a great ball going forward. That's the first time we did it. Van der Beek gives you that 8 times out of 10 from that same position. When Man City are tired, when they look like they were there for the taking, Van der Beek is the best person to find space on that pitch. I believe he's better at finding space on the pitch than Bruno, and that is a fact because that is one of his game traits. When McTominay is making backwards passing on autopilot and going sideways and not even playing the ball through that middle into him, that becomes frustrating because then the players up front who are around are going to expect McTominay to keep doing that, so they won't keep asking for the ball. And I did start to see that in Rashford. Rashford's in the first couple of minutes started making some good runs, but you realize even Pogba when he bombed on forward to make a counter-attacking run, you see Van der Beek go inside and take it backwards. He's autopilot to go back, and that's fine if you want to play safe. That's fine. But when Van der Beek comes on that pitch, you see a different dynamic. And I guarantee you, Van der Beek can tackle just as good. He's seen it. His energy, You know, he'll chase down every ball. His energy
Not
levels are
having it.
massively incredible. You don't have to have it, bro. I'm just going off the facts of what people are seeing.
People are saying Brexit FC Sean,
yeah,
man.
of course,
Sean,
bro. I don't, like,
Sean, you're losing the
Hey,
crowd with Van de
listen,
Beek, bro.
Scott
so
McTominay.
to
Scott
conclude,
McTominay
so
had
to-
a fantastic game.
No, he did
And
not.
He had a
No,
fantastic
McTominay
game.
did have a good
He's
game.
putting
He did
in
have a good
tackles.
game.
No,
He's putting
good
in
game. Not
tackles.
fantastic,
He was breaking
bro.
up. He
The
was
fact that
breaking
you're
up play.
saying
He was driving
sorry,
forward.
the,
But McTominay, you
he drove
disrespecting him, bro.
forward for the
He was
right
driving
reasons.
forward.
I do
Driving
think,
forward.
You know
just
what,
to be
yeah,
impartial here, I do think McTominay I said I tweeted before the game, he is not at the level to be a Manchester United player at the moment in terms of occupying that space. But for what he did today, because we didn't have a lot of the ball all the time, he did break up the ball and he was tidy. But in terms of what he gives extra that, I feel like
Bro.
VDB could do the same thing McTominay did today, break up the play, defend,
Bro,
but also do something going forward.
How many times in this
Okay.
game, when you watch, how many times in this game, when McTominay had that ball, the moment he tried to pass forward, he couldn't find one of his players. When he went sideways and backwards, it was okay. That is fine. But
That's
when
not
you're
his
trying-
strength, though, Neji.
But this is my point now. I don't care if it's his strength. I'm glad that you highlight it. But because
We
you
know
highlight,
that.
yeah, but because you're highlighting that and you've got a player who can
Yeah.
do that on the pitch,
Yeah.
that's where you've got to take him off. Especially when
Yeah,
City
but
there for the taking. If you're against PSG,
Yeah, you're saying to kill the
if you-
game off. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, I hear what you're saying. So you're
and
saying
this
to
is my
kill the
point.
game off, you've got to bring on Van der Beek.
And this is my point, because as I
Yeah.
said to you, my original argument was that Van der Beek, it's not that Van der Beek can't do what Scott McTominay does and Scott McTominay can't do what Van der Beek does. It's Van der Beek can do what Scott McTominay is doing, because the way he reads the game so much better. But when he's got the ball at his feet, and go and check the statistics, when he's got the ball at his feet, we actually look like we can make something on a counter. Someone has to start a counter attack, and it's usually a CDM. If he's not going to play Cam or on the right or left, wherever Ollie wants to play him, then you need someone to plant the seed of a counter attack. Donny is that guy, especially against a team that looked like they were there for losing 3 points.
So can I ask you a question, Neji? Let me ask Neji a question on that quickly before we move on, right? Because I agree 100% that his passing range and vision and movement, attacking wise, is much better. I don't agree that he can do defensively what Scott does for us. So I think that's the only bit that we disagree on. But I would say to you then, why do you think that Ollie is starting McTominay in that position and not Van der Beek?
The only thing, and this is my opinion, so by all means counter it and thingy, but my only opinion of that is because of the centre backs that we have. He has to have two defensive, and I say this every stream, so I don't want to make your streams boring, bro. But this is all I've got. We're always protecting we're always protecting those centre backs. So he's reluctant, and this is what I'm saying. When you've got that winning mentality, he's very reluctant. Was it?
That's probably why he played.
But Neji, if Van der Beek can do exactly the same thing, then
no, but this is my point.
That excuse doesn't stand up.
No, but this is my point. He can do exactly the same thing and more. So that's what I'm trying to say to you. He is better player than McTominay, and if he comes into that hole, because this is what I'm going to say, I think Van der Beek, when Van der Beek got his first start Champions League, was he playing alongside Fred? And the energy and the dynamic in that midfield, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe he played in that six, because we were all expecting him to play higher, and Ollie started him for the first time, played him in a six. And when he played that, and you started to see things actually work from CDM through to the attack, you're thinking, we could actually put pressure on this. Then he ends up taking him off. Because Fred gets taken off.
You know what?
See this.
I'll tell you what. I'm going to finish. I'm just going to wrap this. I'm going to tell the truth on this one. I feel like people are using this Donny thing as a stick to beat Ollie over the head with, because at the end of the day, we've just taken a good point at home that no one thought we'd get. And we've just spent 10, 15 minutes talking about one player. It should be a non-event.
Bro.
You know what it is for me, right? It's not a situation where we're looking at where we could have won the game, how we could have progressed the game. Everybody, I would say that 90%, I saw it on Twitter, I saw it on newsletter, I was thinking, where is Donny van der Beek? Because he could potentially change this game. So that's why we spent a lot of time talking about it, because was it wrong to keep him off? Was it right to keep him off? If we brought him on, maybe Man City would have got more holes, because McTominay has played that CDM position much more than VDB. There's different sides to it. But let's take a different angle then, right? For me, if we didn't have McTominay, okay, would we miss him? Would we miss McTominay? If I went for the team, right, and said, like, sell, keep, right? If we do like a quick fire round, De Gea,
Keep.
Wan-Bissaka,
Keep.
Lindelof.
Keep.
Get rid.
Oh, okay, Maguire.
Get rid.
Keep.
This is you two are something else. You two are something else. All right, left back, Luke Shaw.
Keep.
Keep.
Tellers.
Keep.
Keep.
Fred.
Keep.
Keep.
Scott McTominay.
Get rid.
Keep.
This is my problem. Because I think like people, if we woke up one day and Scott McTominay didn't play for our team, I don't think people would be like, oh my gosh, we're missing Scott so much. We can't play a game without him. When we missed Fred for that last game, we were like, oh my gosh, I wish Fred was there. I wish Fred was there.
Fair.
And for me, I'm thinking, is Scott McTominay what we think he is? Is it the whole nostalgia that Jose Mourinho has built up? Like, yes, I found Scott. He was my rough diamond, and now I give him to you. You take Scott and you enjoy Scott. I don't know if it's like one of those situations because we've gone through all the teams now, and for me, if Scott McTominay never played a Man United game again, I wouldn't be upset. I'll be like, the depth's gone, but I wouldn't be upset. If Fred went, I'll be like, you know what, we're missing that tenacity.
Dom, do you think, bro, right? Do you think, and this is serious as well, yeah, that if Jose was still here, Scott would play any different than what he's playing today?
Yeah, I think he would. I think he would strip away. He would strip away more of his box-to-box prowess and trying to go forward more, and it would literally just make him. It'll basically make him a defender, like he does for Scotland. I think Jose would literally take all the attacking. You know, Scott McTominay's got that shot he can do. You know, he can do.
Yeah,
he's got them one-off shots and them little dribbles sometimes.
I think Jose will take off all the sauce. I mean, strip it down to the bone and say you're a defender. You're a literally defender.
Okay, so on a follow question to that, how many times have we really seen him this season when he's played? And he's played more than most midfielders. So we've got to look. There'll be some good percentage stats there to look at. How many times has he really been effective in the final third?
Oh no, he's not.
So ultimately, my final conclusion is he still plays the same as he did it with Jose, and that suits him. Is he going to get any better? No. Is he going to progress our team moving forward? No.
That's my problem.
Till I tell you what, I'm going to try and make a case for Scotty, right?
Go on, man.
And I get it. He's not that guy who, I mean, he has been a difference maker for us in games. He's won us games with his beautiful shot and his beautiful finish. All right, he's done it. But I'm talking about his goal scoring as well, because he does pop up with some important goals.
He's got a shot on him, yeah.
Not maybe, but I would say that with Scotty, what I feel and why I think he's a valuable member of the squad is in certain games, like for today, for example, where I feel you need to lock up the midfield. We know we've got a shaky back line. I personally feel he does that job. Only person that probably does it better than him, I mean, Matic does it in a different way, right? Scott is more energy, is more physical, he's more aggressive. He could do it, and he does it very well in certain games. And I feel him and Fred make a good partnership, and it's balanced. But I also feel like, you know, when he goes into those flying and crunching tackles, like there's no one else that does that for our team. People talk about the flatness in the derby and the derby spirit. McTominay was the only one who was putting it on, man, and putting those tackles in. And I feel like our squad back in the day, we had that. I liken him to a Darren Fletcher type. He's not amazing, but he puts in a shift.
No, Darren Fletcher was underrated, bro.
And he does his job, right? No, I'm just giving you my perspective of where he fits into that squad. He's not going to start every game. He doesn't do anything.
That's the problem.
Amazing.
He does. Can you not see that?
Hold on, Neji. Because right now he's starting. Everything's for a time, and I believe Donny's time is going to come next season, where you're going to see him get a run. When you see him get a run in the team, for this moment in time, for where we're at and where the squad is at, Scott is getting a little run in the team. But I don't think Ollie is building a squad to say that in my first 11 as a title-winning team, Scott McTominay is going to be a starter. I don't see that at all. But for right now, he's got a role to play. And I feel like going forward in the squad, he will have a role to play in certain games.
Fine. I want to kind of finish off on this point, right, about Pogba. And I know we always talk about Pogba, but this is quite important about this game, okay? For me, my final sort of views on this whole game was that it was an opportunity missed, but it was a vital point. And it gives us a platform to go and win more games. But I do think that it was negative from Ollie to not make subs quicker and to not just, you know what, just take a risk and take a punt. You've got nothing to lose at the moment because the board's come out and said they're going to back you anyway. You're in a situation where if you win this game, you come off like an absolute flicking Superman mixed with flicking Thanos mixed with everybody. He's got the power. So I feel like he missed it. I feel like he bottled it a bit, but at the same time, he tactically nullified the game, and Man City had no answers. But for me, in terms of Pogba, bold. I always said to you guys all the time that Ollie is the most ruthless person I know. Behind that smile, right, and that flicking that sort of Gollum, sort of Frodo. Hello, oh yes, oh good one, Joe. Yeah. Honestly, behind that, this guy's ruthless. He started Pogba. Are you joking me? So for the final thoughts, let me know how you feel about Pogba, Neji, and starting it. And what's your thoughts for the game coming up, just really quickly?
Yeah, just a quick one. I think with the Pogba situation, I know a lot of people said he shouldn't be starting and stuff. I was one of those, and I still stand by that. However, I do believe it has been reported, Ollie has had conversations with him. And I think moving forward, I think he's happy for Pogba to go, but I think he's in a powerful position because it's a case of saying to Pogba, look, we'll let you go, but we're not going to let you go for this price. Right now, your performances haven't been up to scratch. You need to keep your head down. What you need to do is put your best in for United so your value gets raised yourself because it's quite evident. And then if you do that, then by all means, when the right price comes in for you or the right swap deal comes in for you, it's going to go great. Because if you don't, then we're not selling you and you're going to be stuck here. So now he's got in a limbo where Pogba's got to play for himself ultimately, which he doesn't mind doing anyway. But he's got to play for himself now to get that, which in effect is going to help us. I'm not saying that's what Ollie said. I'm not saying that's what Ollie said, but I'm trying to think logically as if I was Ollie and to see why he's played Pogba. That's the only logical sense it makes because you can ultimately we've won many good games without Pogba. Last season especially, you know what I mean. We did really well. Pogba was a big injury stint. Even this season, didn't really need him in games. We managed to get results when the vibes were all good and the energy was good. So I've genuinely, just to keep it short again, I think it's a case of Pogba's had a word with Ollie, they're mutual on where they want to go. Now it's about play good for United, get your value back up. We'll let you go when you're ready to go, and we'll thank you for the end of it. And hopefully,
your man the match and your match prediction for Leeds, the score prediction for Leeds.
Okay, yeah, man of the match. Sorry, so it would have been Fred or Luke Shaw, but the first person that comes to mind was Luke Shaw. Incredible today, so nice to see him back, especially after injury. So definitely that. Against Leeds, I believe we are away. I think we can get a 2-1 win. But Van der Beek has to start in order to get that because the way in which Leeds play football, they will play like Leipzig, and you'll have our players, Matic and McTominay, doing this 24/7 if Fred doesn't get to play as well. So yeah, I'm going to go 2-1 Leeds, 2-1 United. Sorry.
Yeah, and Sean, your thoughts on Pogba, a man of the match, and then give me a score prediction for Leeds.
So I think I was surprised to see Pogba starting after what's gone on. But I agree with pretty much everything that Neji said in terms of the logic and allowing him. I know.
Wow.
Doesn't happen often. But I feel like
we're like that logical dodgy WWE tag team, bro.
I hear you 100%, bro. 100%. But I feel like that's the only logical explanation for it. And I think it benefits both parties to get his value back up because right now, if you just leave him to rot, his value's at rock bottom and we're going to have to let him go. So I'm not going to say too much on that. I have to give out a shout out to my boy, Harry Maguire, H boss. Can we acknowledge how he performed today?
Yeah,
was he your man of the match?
He had a good game.
Was he your man of the match, Sean?
He had a good game. I'm coming on to that now, and I feel like it's a toss-up between him and Luke Shaw. But because of the stick and adversity he's been getting, people saying he shouldn't even be in the team, I'm giving it to H Boss. Wow. Harry Maguire, MOM.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's wow. We'll talk about that another time. And then your match prediction for Leeds.
So Leeds, I think it's at home. I can see them coming out to attack us, and I feel like we've got the firepower. Hopefully, Martial will be back. We've got the firepower to hurt them. So I'm gonna go 3. Yes, and Kit. Hey. Yes, and Kit.
He's got his
I'm
going for Sean.
I'm going 3-1 United. United win. I think Bamford will sneak a goal. I feel like we're going to go 1-0 down again, and we have to come back.
Yeah, you know what? I think we like that better. In honesty. Final, we'll leave on this point. So, Majbreeze, thank you for joining us, bro. Ollie was trying to save his job. See, we're there for the taking, touch a weak mentality. Yeah, you know what? We discussed all those points, and it's one of those things where we feel like, yes, he was under the cosh and he wanted to get that point. But for him, I feel like I've not even seen his comments yet. He will say it was a tough game. It was a game of fine margin. We come away with a good point. We look forward to lead. That literally, I can literally.
We already know what he's going to say. But can you blame him? We can't blame him for that right now. I don't think you can blame him.
I'll be honest. If we were in this situation, in this position, we'd probably be doing the same because that's a stressful job, bro.
I'll be like this.
Yeah,
what's wrong, man? We got that brother. What are you talking about? All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining in. We're going to be back for the match preview for Leeds, and we'll be back tomorrow as well, just talking about what's gone on in the week in terms of the Premier League and what this means for us, and just getting some good vibes, just getting those good vibes back. So join us tomorrow. But yeah, this has been Dominic, you've been Neji, and you've got Sean there. So keep the love. We got 1 point. Let's just enjoy it and go and get a glass of
Everton
wine.
1-0.
Everton 1-0. Oh,
get in!
We're ending that point.
Oh, wait,
Peace out, people.